The clink of a coffee cup against porcelain was the only sound Walter Briggs made that cold afternoon, sitting alone in the corner booth of Miller's Diner, his army jacket draped over his thin frame like a proud but fading flag of service. The place smelled of bacon grease and fresh pie, the rain outside streaking the windows in silver rivulets, but the air inside was thick with unease. 3 bikers, their leather vests creaking as they leaned in close, had decided the 79-year-old veteran would be their entertainment, mocking his limp, his war hero stories, even tugging at the sleeve patch stitched decades ago in a jungle far from here. Forks paused mid-bite, eyes darted away, and the young waitress froze by the counter, caught between fear and the silent hope someone would step in. Then it happened. The door swung open with a sharp gust of wind, rain spilling in, and there he stood, Daniel Briggs, Walter's son, still in army fatigues, boots wet from the pavement, fresh from an overseas deployment. He had come to surprise his father for lunch. Instead, his sharp eyes landed on the scene, narrowing as the room seemed to contract around him. Every step he took toward that booth was deliberate, the weight of his dog tags faintly jingling with each stride, his voice cutting low and steady through the murmurs. "You bothering my father?" The tallest biker stood to meet him, a smirk curling on his lips, but Daniel's presence was like a wall of steel, calm, unflinching, dangerous in its restraint. "That man," Daniel said, pointing to Walter with a steadiness that made the hairs on everyone's arms rise, "carried brothers off battlefields under fire. That man saw things that would break most men, and still came home to raise a son. You will show him respect." The room held its breath. For a moment, the only sound was the rain and the faint buzz of the neon sign. The bikers, their earlier bravado leaking away, exchanged glances before muttering excuses and stepping out into the storm, their boots suddenly quiet on the tile. Daniel slid into the booth beside his father, a protective arm draped along the backrest. His voice soft now. "You all right, Dad?" Walter's weathered face held back tears, but his eyes shone with pride. "You didn't have to," he said. "Yes, I did," Daniel replied, a small, knowing smile breaking the tension. Around them, something shifted. Strangers who had looked away now met Walter's eyes, some offering nods, others quiet words of thanks. The waitress returned with 2 steaming mugs, her voice trembling slightly as she said, "This one's on the house." Outside, the rain eased, and a pale sunlight broke through the clouds, spilling golden light across the wet streets, as if the sky itself had decided to bear witness to the moment. That day, Miller's Diner became more than a roadside stop. It became a reminder that bravery isn't always in the roar of battle. It can be in the quiet defense of dignity, in standing tall when it would be easier to look away. Daniel's choice to act didn't just protect his father, it stirred something in everyone there, a quiet resolve to carry a little more courage in their own lives. And maybe that's how change happens, not in grand speeches, but in small, fierce moments when we decide to be the person who steps forward. If this story touched you, don't let it end here. Subscribe, like, and share so more people can see what it means to honor those who've given so much and maybe be inspired to do the same.